Did the New York Giants find the next Victor Cruz in their UDFA class? They signed a lot of good wide receivers, but I've got my eye on one of them that I think represents a former Giant that won a Super Bowl and made a famous catch, and maybe we'll go down a similar path as Victor Cruz. And they also made a late UDFA signing that we have not talked about on the show, the Shrine Bowl MVP. He has been signed to the New York Football Giants. The Giants made it obvious and clear. They're looking for a diamond in the rough when it comes to the wide receiver position on the UDFA market. They went out and signed Beaux Collins out of Notre Dame, Daquan Felton out of Virginia Tech, Antwane Wells Jr., a.k.a. Juice Wells, I love that name, out of Ole Miss, Nate McCollum out of North Carolina, and Dalen Cambre, the Ragin' Cajun. So 5 high-profile wide receivers have been signed as UDFAs, will go to Giants rookie minicamp and have an opportunity to make this team. We've seen guys that have had successful careers like Victor Cruz at the wide receiver spot by UDFAs, and the Giants have hit on other positions. And I think wide receiver this year is probably the easiest pathway for any of these UDFAs to make the team. Because outside of Malik Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Darius Slayton, every single spot on this wide receiver room is up for grabs. Yes, I want Jalin Hyatt to take that next step and be that guy. I'm not saying Hyatt's a cut candidate, but he also had 8 grabs in his second year. Like, it doesn't seem like the Giants view him as a part of this team, or I don't know what it is. I want him to be better. We need him to be better. Like, Lil Jordan Humphrey doesn't have a guaranteed spot. Zach Pascal didn't even catch a pass last year. And Bryce Ford Wheaton will continue to fight to make a team. Let's start with the wide receiver out of Virginia Tech, Daquan Felton. And of all of the wide receivers that I think have a chance to make this team, he's probably the one with the most opportunity, with one more guy who we'll talk about. 6'4.5", 24 years old, 214 pounds. He's got legit size. And he's got legit production as well. The Giants haven't had a physical outside wide receiver that can make plays over the top of somebody in a long, long time. And when you watch the tape that Felton put together over the last 2 years at Virginia Tech, you see a guy that kind of plays like someone that once wore number 17 for the New York Football Giants. Felton, a relative athletic score in the 89th percentile of all wide receivers that have done official testing in the pre-draft process. 6'4.5", 213 pounds, ran a 4.5 40. Broad jump was good. Vertical jump, not that good, but at 6'4", just put it on the top shelf and let him use those 32-plus inch arms to go pluck it out of the air. And that's what they did at Virginia Tech in 2013. 8 touchdowns, 38 grabs, 667 yards, and 17.6 yards per catch. His role, when you go and watch the tape, kind of changed from 2023 to 2024. He was a deep threat. He was a guy that they just wanted to throw the ball to down the field in 2023. In 2024, he ran a lot more short intermediate routes, stop routes, just use your size to get open and catch the ball. What was a little concerning for me with him is the drop issues. He needs to catch the ball like you're a receiver. You got to catch the ball a little bit better. He has 5 drops in each of the last 2 years, a drop percentage of 11.6 in 2023, 13.5 this past year. But he was 0 of 9 on contested catch opportunities in 2023, whereas he was 8 of 15 in 2024. A massive jump and an awesome increase. But my guy, Daquan Felton, if you're going to be anything in the NFL at 6'5", you got to be able to make contested catches. He showed he could do that in 2024. A pure outside receiver with a nice blend of size and speed. I think he moves well for his size as a vertical option. There's even a couple of plays on tape where he'll catch a stop route, turn it upfield, and he'll leave some defenders in the dust. Not an easy guy to bring to the ground as well. He'll run through some arm tackles. And the production, unfortunately, kind of dipped in 2024. And the drop issues kind of remain. The drop percentage actually got worse in 2024, even though the contested catch stuff got better. Not an elite yards after the catch guy, but in 2023, 319 yards there and 143 this past year. This team lacks a big, physical, boundary wide receiver. You got Malik Neighbors and you got Wan'Dale Robinson and Darius Slayton. Malik Neighbors can do it all. I'm not going to limit him to anything. But Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Jalin Hyatt are not known as physical outside receivers that make contested catches. Giants haven't had that guy in a long time. Could Daquan Felton find a way to make this team and be productive down the line? Another guy I think has a good shot, and I think it's going to be between Felton and Juice Wells. Juice Wells is good friends with Jackson Dart. They've got a good connection. You could go watch the tape from Dart, and Dart's willing to put the ball in harm's way because he thinks Juice Wells is going to go and get it. And he showed they could do that. Nearly 6'1", 200-plus pounds, 24 years old. And this is a guy that I thought was really productive for a couple of years, but the pre-draft process and the testing numbers weren't all that kind to him. A relative athletic score of the 57th percentile. His 40 wasn't that fast at 4.58, which at the end of the day, I don't really care about the 40. I saw Juice Wells show some NFL speed on tape, but when you're 6 foot and you're 200 pounds and you run a 40 in the 51st percentile, people are going to question if you're an NFL athlete. And that's kind of the stigma that's attached to Juice Wells. He was awesome, ladies and gentlemen, in 2022. Like, go watch the 2022 highlights for Juice Wells. He was really good. He had 68 grabs for 928 yards and 6 touchdowns in that season. Then in 2023, he had some injuries pop up, and he wasn't able to be all that efficient. Then he got back on track this past year for Ole Miss, played in all 13 games, but only had 28 catches for 553 yards, but he did have 6 touchdowns. Those 6 touchdowns in 2022, to be clear, came from South Carolina. So he transferred to Ole Miss for the 2024 season. Runs hard and can be tough to bring down. Like, he's a yards after catch guy. Not the best route runner in the world and struggled with drops a little bit last year. But this is a guy that's shown on tape that he can make an impact. And with the Giants lacking elite talent at wide receiver outside of Malik Neighbors, in my opinion, there's an opportunity for one of these UDFA guys to show up and camp, ball out, and put their name in the hat to potentially make this roster. We got to talk about one more player that's going to be a UDFA that I'm excited to see at camp. But if you want the Giants to find another star UDFA player, hit that thumbs up icon. I don't think you'll ever find someone as good as Victor Cruz off the UDFA market. But can you get somebody that's half as good? Can you get somebody that can contribute? I think Daquan Felton could potentially be that guy, and maybe even someone like Juice Wells. There's an opportunity at the wide receiver position to go out and make that happen. So we'll see if any of these guys are able to put their best foot forward. We'll see if any of them are able to connect with a Jackson Dart at rookie minicamp or whatever it may have. A late UDFA signed for the New York Football Giants, and this is a noteworthy one. O'Donnell Fortune, the cornerback out of South Carolina, picked up a lot of steam in the pre-draft process as he was named the East-West Shrine Bowl MVP. Did not sign on Sunday after the draft. Supposedly there was a lot of competition for Fortune services, and the New York Giants were able to edge everybody out. I'm sure they gave him a little bit more guaranteed money than everybody else. But this is a guy that showed at the Shrine Bowl that he could play, and he actually was awarded the MVP. 6'1", 190 pounds, 23 years old. He's going to have to compete to make this roster, obviously, but the cornerback spot for the Giants, I think he's got a shot. Good size and good length with solid instincts. When you watch the tape, you can see this guy has a mind of a DB. He's able to put his foot in the ground, little T-step action, and make some plays on the ball while it's in the air. And a productive player as well with 7 interceptions over the last 3 seasons. He's able to turn into a wide receiver when the ball is in the air. He does need to be a little bit more physical, and he didn't really test all that well athletically, but the tape tells me that this guy has a shot to play in the NFL. The Athletic's Dane Brugler saying this: Fortune needs to play with improved discipline, both in coverage and in run support, but his ball awareness and fluidity will translate well to the pro game. And if you can get a guy that is known as a ball hawk and has a lot of ball production at corner, you should be able to coach the rest. An 86 overall Pro Football Focus grade this past year, he allowed 31 catches on 53 targets for just 355 yards, allowed just 1 interception, and quarterbacks had a passer rating this past year when they targeted him of 61.4. 3 INTs this year, 2 last year, 2 the year before. A 90.2 coverage grade, a 79.5 man coverage grade, and an 87.5 zone coverage grade. More so an outside corner, 639 snaps on the boundary this year compared to just 15 in the slot. So at that 6'1" frame, he's able to play on the outside, and the data and the numbers show it. This is a guy that when the ball is in the air, he could take it away. And the Giants, they need more of those. Right now, this cornerback depth chart looks like this. Paulson Adebo is CB1. You made a big commitment to him financially to go out and pay him and steal him from the Saints. Drew Phillips entering year 2. I expect him to make a big-time leap, and he was good as his rookie year. I need him to be a little bit better in coverage. I was more impressed with him as a tackler and a physical and aggressive player. Got to be a little bit better in coverage. Deonte Banks, my man, it is now or never for you as a corner in this league. You don't have to fall around CB1s anymore. It's year 3. You were a first-round pick. Let's go, man. Let's get it together. And you got Cordell Flott as well, who could do a little bit of both inside and outside corner duties. Corner needs to improve. And there's a guy we're talking about on today's show who has an opportunity to show this defensive coordinator and Shane Bowen that maybe he could be that guy. Who is that guy? Is Jackson Dart. Get your Dart jersey today. Chatsports.com/Dart. Chatsports.com/Dart. Or if you want to show some love to the edge rusher, Abdul Carter. Chatsports.com/Carter. All lowercase letters. Chatsports.com/Carter. Chatsports.com/Dart. I'll make sure those links are clickable down in the comments and description of today's show. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up icon and give me a follow on social media. I'm on IG at @MarshallGreen_. I'm on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up and let's go Big Blue.